Hello guys, and welcome to a new episode in which we will address a slightly more controversial topic than usual. Today we will talk about dopamine detox, how you can start, what you have to do, how I started, and what benefits or disadvantages it will bring you. To start strongly, I will briefly tell you how I came to this idea and how the whole experience was for me. So, I think I discovered this concept 1 year ago, in a very bad period of my life. In order to make it easier for you to understand and not to give too many details, I will sum it up like this. I had become a robot, without emotions, without purpose, dependent on absolutely everything society had to offer. So one evening I came across a video similar to the one you are seeing now. It was actually random. I don't know how it was chosen by the YouTube algorithm, I'll see, but even today I thank for that suggestion. I remember watching that clip, and I was like, I don't think it can be done like that, and in a way I was amazed how I was fooling my brain alone with small things. I couldn't believe that I was suffering from many addictions and that in the end I came to understand where my lack of motivation, discipline, and energy was, if we can say so. So let's go through a few stages to start controlling yourself better, maybe we can say, to become your own person. First of all, you should reflect on your life. Look in the mirror, take a piece of paper and a pen and write down the things you see in your body that you think need to be changed. Now make this habit with pen and paper for a few more demanding days of your life. At least 3 per week. Why am I telling you to do this? Because I want you to find these habits you have that are not beneficial. So do this for 3 days. You will see for yourself what things you do every day are not at all beneficial for you. Now that I have established a kind of initiation in detox, let's see some habits that I do, which gave me spikes of dopamine, but which at the same time decreased my baseline of dopamine that I had. The first and most frequent was probably the excessive use of social media. And I remember that at that time I had not downloaded TikTok. So on Instagram, YouTube, any kind of social network, especially Snap. You don't even want to know how many snaps with the sky I opened per day. But the idea was that I was trying to find something, an artificial interaction with certain people, to feed that continuous line of dopamine. But what I didn't know is that if you stimulate this increase in dopamine several times with the same stimulant, at a certain point there will be no increase, but instead, there will be a drastic decrease. Hence the states of anxiety and depression. The second thing I did was to start going out more often, to do sports, at first only push-ups. We also make mistakes, few, my life was woeful, but at least I had a start. Along the way with each day we do more and more and motivate myself. In fact, what we were doing was to self-stimulate the secretion of dopamine by inducing pleasure in a hard activity. And that would be the purpose for which you would want to do a dopamine detox, so that you can control these levels during the day in different situations and moments. So you should think very carefully about starting a physical activity, especially if it means going for a long walk at least. Do something physical, uncomfortable. It will be worth it, trust me. For a third personal type that I want to offer, then we will move on to some advantages and disadvantages. The third type is to be persistent, to be patient. Don't expect to succeed the first time. If you do, well done, you're great, keep going. But if you're a normal person, maybe similar to me, or in a situation similar to what I described there, try to take it slower. You will probably have moments of relapse. You will end up doing some things that you said you would not do again. If what matters is that after that moment you should think very carefully about why you did that thing, to understand that you were wrong. But the image, let your superior stay on the destruction of that hobby that hurts you. Now, some advantages and some disadvantages. Yes, in my opinion, you can say that you have seen the word disadvantages and you don't understand why. Let's go through the advantages first, because they are much more common, and then we will take a look at what disadvantages I think you will encounter, what I also encountered, and what I think is the most difficult to do. For the advantages, of course, you will be able to use these spikes of dopamine in the moments when you need them, when you work, when you meditate, or when you do something productive, so you will practically have an infinite source of motivation. Another visible advantage is that you will lead a much healthier life, possibly with a much better an identity and a much higher self-esteem than at the beginning. This will give you a boost in confidentiality, which will help your social skills. But why did I start this section? The disadvantages. Well, the biggest disadvantage is that you will feel as if you are in hell. That depends on how much you have consumed this type of activity that produces those spikes of dopamine. We can call them unhealthy. So you will feel very stupid, and that is an easy word. You will give in at some point. You will be disappointed, probably very unsociable in the first weeks, stressed, and at some point you will be very discouraged by your progress. My advice to you is to hold back, because you will lie the most during this period. It is very interesting that our own brain can do permanent damage to our person. So basically you will be your own worst enemy. So good luck beating you. That's about it for today. I hope you liked what you heard, and if so, don't forget to press the like and subscribe button because it helps me a lot. And until next time, don't forget, keep your head up. I have no doubt that you will succeed.